it's interesting you said about the when.
Yeah.
When life is perfect, then I'll get back to my health and fitness.
Yeah, we're waiting for some ideal thing.
Right, and that is indicative of what's known as the pause button mentality. A lot of people have that, and if you are someone who has noticed that you have a tendency to, you get really excited, you get really motivated. Oh, I need to get in shape. I'm going to do. Oh, look at this program. This is a perfect program. It's a 6-week challenge. It's P90X. For 90 days. It's this Beachbody thing. I'm joining this group because all these. This is mom workout for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
If you find yourself as one of those people who is drawn to those and you participate them, and maybe you do get results, right? Like a lot of times people do get results during that event, however long that event takes. But you find yourself, once the event is over, falling back into your old ways. You're probably someone who is subject to the chains of the pause button mentality.
Well, and the marketing industry has kind of taught it to us.
Yes.
It's like, you're going to transform your body in 45 days.
Right.
They're putting all these time limits on health and fitness when there is no time limit on health and fitness. You're going to be alive until you're not alive anymore. Yeah.
A lot of the fitness industry, the stuff we see is the fitness equivalent of the snake oil salesman, get rich quick schemes, right? Yeah. It's like the fitness equivalent of get rich quick, right? Lose weight quick. It's the same thing, but for some reason with fitness, we have a tendency to, I don't know if deep down everyone believes it, but we want to believe it because I think we are in so much emotional pain, right? We look in the mirror and it's like, oh my gosh, I do not like the way I look, right? Or maybe you've struggled with weight your whole life, and so it's just such a deeply rooted emotional thing that you're willing to believe a lie in order to try and heal that pain.
You go for the magic beans, right? You're selling your cow for the magic beans. Like, I'll just try this.
Yeah. And
you're hoping it works.
Yeah. And so you fall victim to a lot of these pause button mentality schemes. And just to kind of give you guys an example of what some of the pause button mentality schemes are. Schemes. Call them schemes because they kind of are in a way. But anyway, so one of the examples that I used is P90X. Working out for 60 to 90 minutes, 6 days per week. It's not going to last.
Most people can't keep that up.
No. Very, 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 very few. If you are single, no responsibilities, live on your own, have a job where you control your own schedule to a T, then maybe you could. If in a vacuum, that would work. But what happens after the 90 days? Right. Are you going to continue working out an hour to an hour and a half, 6 days per week? No, you're not. Right. If you have a family, if you have a job, if you have hobbies, it's just not realistic. It's not sustainable. It's a pause button mentality. Workout because it's within the confines of P90X's requirements. Right? So P90X isn't working into your life. You're having to work your life into P90X's overly rigid. So then they can if it doesn't work, they can always turn around and tell you, well, you didn't
do the program.
You didn't do what we told you. So P90X is one. Weight Watchers is another one. Is another pause button mentality program, because if you're not tracking,
you're not doing the program.
You're not doing the program. See? And Weight Watchers is super tricky because when you are tracking, right? You're going to lose weight.
Oh, it totally works while you're doing it.
Right. But it's just not sustainable.
You can't track your food for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're just not going to do that.
No,
and it doesn't.
It's not realistic.
And it forces you to rely on their strategies. Again, it forces you to fit your life into their mold of what you should be doing. And that's never sustainable. We have a saying here, if it's not sustainable, it's not worth doing. If you can't do it for the rest of your life, don't do it for a second. It's just not worth it, because it's not going to arm you with the strategies necessary to actually lose weight, get in shape, and maintain that for the rest of your life.
Right?
Juice cleanses.
Oh my gosh.
You want to talk about juice cleanses?
I die a little. I think a fairy dies every time someone says they're going to do a juice cleanse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just really makes me sad. Like, because microbiome experts hate juice cleanses because it's been marketed as something that, you know, resets your biome and detoxifies you and helps you feel better. And a lot of people with IBS fall for this too. They think it's going to fix their microbiome and make them feel better.
Yeah.
But it does the opposite. It destroys your microbiome.
Yeah.
So in order for your gut to function well, you need to eat certain foods that don't upset your stomach and that promote a good microbiome. So a juice cleanse is not the way to go. It's just another magic pill that people are thinking going to do. Right?
Yeah, it can mess you up, and again, it's sneaky because you'll lose weight on it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not eating anything.
Yeah. Right. It's a fancy fast.
I did my 5-day cleanse and I lost 5 pounds. Like, yeah,
you lost water.
You didn't eat any carbs. You didn't eat any. But again, it forces you to fit your life into the cleanse.
Right. Like, and it's a pause button thing, right? You do a short spurt of something that's intense.
Right.
But it's not something that you can do for the next 70 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, don't do it.
Those cleanses, those shakes. I know there are some like shake programs out there. Oh, lose weight and do. What was the one back in the day? Slim Fast. Remember Slim Fast?
They were huge. Yeah. 2 Slim Fasts and 1 reasonable meal in the evening.
Yeah. Like, what are you just starving yourself? So that's another one. Yeah. So this one's more of a mentality than a program. The traditional CrossFit mentality.
Okay.
Of workout till you puke. That's an all or nothing. That's a pause button mentality of sorts within a smaller window, right? So on a workout to workout basis, it's all out, right? Like if I'm not puking, it was a waste of a workout, right? And that is an unhealthy way.
So that's that stop and go.
Yeah.
It's that stop and go mentality where you go really fast and then stop.
Yeah.
And then go really fast and then stop.
Yeah. And in a similar vein, you have the bodybuilding mentality of like, oh, if I work out and I'm not sore the next day, well, that was a waste of time. Why did I even do that? Right. So
this is what happens with those two different mentalities is the next time it's time for a workout, you're less likely to go because you're like, oh, I'm going to be sore. I don't have time. I don't have the energy for this all out workout. It's going to be really hard. Oh, I have an injury. I can't do that because I can't do it to that level. Yeah. You're not allowing yourself any wiggle room. Right.
And so basically in a nutshell, the pause button mentality, it preys on non-stressful points in time and gives you a false sense of what you're capable of long term. Yeah. Because if you had a video of your entire life, right, and you could go to the chapters where you start these types of pause button mentality programs, I can almost guarantee what you'll find is that you start them during times of low stress when there's not a lot of other stuff going on in your life. Yeah. Right. So very, very, very few people start a workout program when things are super hectic and they have this crazy project at work and they got, they've got their kids are in travel soccer and they got to go. Yeah. Right? Very few people.
Like you're 7 months pregnant and your dad is sick in the hospital. Right. And you've got a major deadline at work. Most people aren't starting a program during that.
Yeah. But so when things are slow, it's like, okay.
I'm going to do this thing.
Now I'm going to get in shape. Yeah. Right? And so you're starting this program at a time where your life is not normal. Meaning, because life is normally hectic, right? Normally, most of us have a lot going on. And so you go into it with this false sense of security that, I'll be able to do this forever. Because maybe your life remains chill for, a month or 2 months, or maybe you're like 3-4 months, who knows? Yeah. Right? But eventually, life will get hectic again, and you will be forced to confront the fact that the program that you're taking part in is not sustainable. And what most people do, and what we're going to talk about here in a second, what you should do versus what you should do. Most people, we give up, right?
They're like, I need to take a break.
Yeah, I need to take a break. I need to pause.
Yeah, I need to press pause on this because I can't do this. Because people have this idea in their head that fitness requires like this huge chunk out of their day or out of their brain. Yeah. And if you can't do that big chunk, then you do nothing.
It's pass fail, right?
Yeah.
Either I'm doing it or I'm not. And again, this is reinforced by these pause button mentality programs.
Yeah.
If I am tracking what I'm eating, I am passing Weight Watchers, right? If I'm not tracking what I'm eating, I'm failing Weight Watchers. It's pass fail, right? If I am sore the next day after my workout, I am passing, bodybuilding training.
Yeah.
If I'm not sore the next day, I have failed.